Mr Reynolds. When we last communed together on the 18th of February 2022, I asked you some questions regarding floodplain harvesting, and I'm looking for an update in relation to that. I can read out your answers, but I effectively, you said to me that you're waiting for the information to come from the New South Wales Government as part of their water resource plans, and you're expecting those in 6 months. So I'm really looking for an update from your perspective regards the delivery of those plans. I'm well aware that there's been another regulations have been disallowed. If you could give me a snapshot from your perspective of where we're at.
Senator, if I might,
yeah.
Mr Reynolds was answering in his capacity as acting CEO.
I don't mind.
So I'll ask Mr Goods to come up and we can update you on the water resource plans and address that specific question.
It was just that Mr Reynolds had answered my question.
No problem,
that's fine. Senator, there's not much change in the status. There's been some further action. There's been some further action on the New South Wales end, both from working up the water resource plans, which will regulate and bring floodplain harvesting under the regulatory framework as far as the basin plan's concerned, and for their own water sharing plans. But those water resource plans, the 5 valleys in northern New South Wales where floodplain harvesting is relevant for the basin plan, those water resource plans are still in draft form. We have very recently, with a number of them, been able to get access to some of those assumptions and have started working at that draft level with New South Wales. So that certainly is a step forward since the February timeframe. The licences have been issued for floodplain harvesting in 2 valleys in New South Wales, in the Border Rivers Valley and in the Guida Valley. The other 3 catchments were impacted by the most recent, which was the 4th disallowance of regulations to regulate floodplain harvesting by the New South Wales Parliament. And so it remains to be seen what action the New South Wales Government takes to resolve that impasse. So the floodplain harvesting in the Guida plan and in the Border Rivers plan can proceed. So there's certainty from the New South Wales end there. Those licences have been issued, and New South Wales has advised that they see them as validly issued and stand. And the water resource plans for the other 3 valleys will need to be brought forward with interim arrangements and likely have to be amended once the impasse is resolved around the issue of licences.
So this is a question around process. Do they then, if this is not resolved to their satisfaction, I know it's an issue for New South Wales and not yourselves, do they put an interim in or a draft in? So when can someone like myself see what the intentions of the New South Wales Government are?
So when a water resource plan is lodged with the authority for formal assessment, all documents relating to that plan are put on our website. And so we have 6 plans under formal assessment from New South Wales at the moment, and so those documentations are loaded to the website as they move into the formal assessment process. So that's the time when we all get to see the final version that New South Wales has determined they want assessed.
Apart from polite queries from the authority, you just simply have to wait for the New South Wales to deliver the plans and work with them. Is that correct?
We work very closely with New South Wales. Our technical people work with New South Wales on a weekly, if not daily, basis.
My question wasn't directed to what you're doing. I know you're working hard to get the plan. It's more the process. So if a plan doesn't arrive, let's just take New South Wales out of the equation. What happens? We just have to wait until the plan comes.
So yes, the state can doesn't lodge a plan until they decide they lodge a plan. There are provisions in the Water Act that can be escalated in a sense if those plans aren't delivered, and they sort of have a number of steps to them.
Whilst I accept it's New South Wales' issue, is I understand the delay is because they have these regulations which are constantly disallowed, and it was a component they were planning to put into their plans. Is that the reason for the delay, as far as you understand it? Or
That's one of the reasons for the delay. There are other issues that have been being resolved in addition to floodplain harvesting in relation to water resource plans for New South Wales.
Do you feel able to tell me, or is it subject to confidential negotiation?
No, there are broad reasons for some of those issues. So there were issues with the first. So New South Wales lodged a tranche of plans in 2020-ish, and they were all assessed. And the authority provided New South Wales with, for each plan, specific areas where we felt it was unlikely that the draft plan met basin plan requirements. There were issues around the models and processes to determine levels of take on an annual basis. There were issues around the definition of planned environmental water and the substantiation of how the plan ensured that there was no net reduction in the protection of that water. There were a number of issues in a number of plans around the adequacy of how the plans expressed articulated or represented First Nations values and uses and objectives in the plans. So all of those were provided to New South Wales, but they're the sort of broad themes.
Thank you. I'll hand back to you, Chair.
Thank you.